Welcome, listeners, to An Industry's Insight, the podcast where we're all about the interviewees who have been or are still in the music, publishing, marketing, film, advertising, managing business, and more. I'm your host, Thomas Grabusnik, and let's get right into it. So here today, we have a really good musician,
Thank you.
great vocalist. You are.
Taylor Hogan. Thank you.
Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Do you have any music out that people could find your music somewhere, or?
So I am releasing an album or like a small, like a kind
EP?
of EP, but like a little longer than that. So about 8 songs in a few months, which is like in 2 months in May. But right now I have an EDM song with an artist called B3NTE, and you can find it on YouTube under Taylor Hogan Break My Heart.
Do you have a website for your music, or?
I have a music page on Facebook and Instagram. So on Instagram, it's Taylor Hogan Music, and on Facebook, it's just Taylor Hogan.
When and why did you start singing?
So I've always been singing since I was, since I could talk, basically. And then I feel like my parents tried to put me in, ice skating and sports, and I just always found, love for music instead. Mm-hmm. So I just, I went more towards the music aspect, and I just fell in love with it. I loved songwriting since I was 12, so I love doing that, and I just love singing, so I stuck with it.
Yeah, I always hated sports.
Yeah, right?
I played a lot of sports, but didn't stick, just straight to music.
Yeah, me too.
Just a music kid in school.
Yeah, definitely, same.
And do you play anything? Like you play guitar or?
I play guitar
piano,
and a little bit of piano.
Okay. How? When did you start playing that?
I started playing the guitar when I've been playing guitar since I think I was 16 or 17, and then I've started playing the piano. I used to take lessons, but it was classical, so now I just kind of play chords and taught myself. Okay. So I started that a year ago.
Okay, so you more like self-taught on the piano?
Yeah, on the piano.
About guitar or?
Guitar lessons.
And vocals?
Vocals, I don't even know how long I've been singing. I've been singing since I could talk, but voice lessons since I was in 5th grade.
Okay. You had one teacher, multiple teachers over the years, or did you?
I had one teacher growing up, and then that was out of school. And then when I came here, now I study with Miss Marika.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously you write your own songs?
Yeah.
So what is your songwriting process? Do you do lyrics first or music first or both at the same time?
It really depends. That's why I like songwriting, because it's not the same every time. It's different. It's sometimes I'll get an idea pop in my head and I'll write it in my voice. I'll write it into my notes, or I'll record it into my voice memos, and then later on I'll put chords to it, or figure it out. Or sometimes I'm just playing chords on the guitar or piano and something comes to me. Sometimes I'm feeling a certain way and then I want to express that, and I don't know how to other than in a song. Mm-hmm. And sometimes just the lyrics come first and then I put music to it. So it's different.
And what are your lyrics mostly about?
Well, people like to say that I write, heartbreak songs and depressing songs, but I guess I can't help it. I feel like it's so much easier.
I do.
Right? I see it's so much easier to write a sad song than it is to write a happy song.
I do. From basically all my songs are based off experience.
Right. Me too.
So heartbreak, I experience if I feel down and depressed or whatever, I write off that.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes I could write about the same situation that happened to me, even if it was 2 years ago. If I go back to it, I could write about it again.
Yeah. I've had friends be like, you have to write more happy songs. I can't.
Yeah, me too. I just wrote a happy song the other day and I was like, wow, it's happy.
Yeah, I have 50 songs and maybe 10 of them are actually upbeat and happy. The rest are sad.
Me too. So
with your writing process, you just for the instrumental part, do you just have to listen to something, get ideas from something, or do you think about it right off your spot, right off the top of your head, or?
I guess I'd say I think about it right off the top of my head. Sometimes in my car driving and I get an idea and then I put it into voice memos, and then I just finish it when I get home. And sometimes if I can't get anything past that one idea, then I'll just scrap it.
You scrap it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess if I can't continue it, I'm well, I can't do anything with it. So.
I know what you mean, because I've had old songs I've thrown away.
Yeah.
But I have one song that's actually made up 3 songs that I wrote.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I take from different ideas.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say always scrap them unless you definitely 100% know they're yeah, this is not going to work.
Yeah, that's like the only time I scrap it. If not, then I'll like put it aside, like you said, and I'll put it into a
Yeah.
different song, or find something else to do with it.
What was the first tune you learned?
Um,
If you, because you said sing it since you talk. I don't know if you would remember back when you were a kid.
I used to like hum to the radio, and I would watch things on TV. So I probably learned theme songs first. To be honest, trying to think of like the first thing I learned though. I know the first song that I actually sang was "Young and Beautiful" by Carrie Underwood, but the first tune I learned, I was just humming to the radio, I guess, when I was younger.
Do you remember like the first full song you learned how to sing?
The first full song I learned how to sing was "Some Hearts" by Carrie Underwood also.
Okay. Did you like Carrie Underwood?
Yeah, I love Carrie Underwood. She's definitely an inspiration.
Is any of your family members musical or?
I have a cousin that sings, but other than that, like my other cousin plays a little bit of the piano, but other than that, not really. No one
Just
in my
you.
family. Yeah, I don't know. It came out of nowhere, pretty much.
Probably like an ancestor.
Yeah, right.
Has to
Somebody
be
else
some-
sings
like-
or writes or something.
As you said, Carrie Underwood's inspiration. What other famous musicians do you admire?
I grew up listening to Avril Lavigne. She was like the first person to inspire me. So because she's like an awesome songwriter, and Taylor Swift, because she's an awesome songwriter also. She just has like she's like a lyrical genius. I know a lot of people don't like her though, but I do.
I like her old stuff.
Yeah, I like her old stuff too. I miss her old stuff. And then Mara Morris and Kelsey Ballerini. They're like new in the country realm, and I feel like they're like they're really respected songwriters, and that's how they started first. So I like their songs, and I like that.
So
I think they're inspiration.
you like country music, really?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't love country music, but I
Yeah.
don't hate it. It's just like if it's on, I'll listen to it.
Yeah, I
There's-
feel like people think it's mostly like trucks and like like beer, but not all songs are like that.
Yeah, no, they're not.
There's good music in country. That's why I like it. It tells stories.
Yeah, I know there's one song I can't stand.
Oh, which one?
Fried chicken. Or chicken fried, whatever.
Chicken Fried. I actually love that song.
Yeah,
That's
so
one of the really country songs though. So
that
I can
song,
see how you don't like it.
I hate. Oh my God, I hate that song.
I can
not-
see how you don't like it.
Yeah, like not to be. I know a lot of people who love it. Because my mom likes country and like my
really?
dad likes country.
Yeah.
And so also my brother, so they like listen to country. And whenever that song comes on, I can't. It's like
You can't listen to it?
Nah, it's just too much.
Yeah. It's played a lot too, so I feel like some people like they get tired of it.
Yeah, that happens with a lot of songs.
Yeah.
Which famous musicians have you learned from? Like you said, Carrie Underwood's you admire, but like, have you learned from? You know what I mean?
Like learned like techniques and stuff like
Yeah,
that, or
like techniques of how they wrote their songs.
yeah, definitely. I feel like a lot of people say like they compare me, not like compare me like we're similar in some ways to like Taylor Swift, the way she writes. I feel like her songwriting, like she kind of changed the country world. Like she wrote different songs that people weren't used to listening to. So I feel like sometimes like she tells like really great stories from like start to end, and I feel like I love doing that with my music. So she definitely inspired me to write like stories from start to finish.
Is there any other musicians that you like learned from or?
I learned a lot of performing from Carrie Underwood. Like when I've seen her in concert twice in my life, and I definitely learned so much from her performance. Like the way she puts on a show, definitely inspired me.
Do you have favorite musicians that you just listen to or?
I mean, I listen to anything. I'm not even just country. Like I listen to like Selena Gomez and stuff. I listen to like the Chainsmokers. I listen to them, and I listen to like Halsey. So I like their styles and stuff.
So you would say you play country, but you like.
Yeah, but I like all genres.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I like all music, but I prefer rock and roll.
Yeah, me too. I just prefer country. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel too.
What are your fondest musical moments or memories in your house or neighborhood or school or?
I get asked to sing the national anthem at a 9/11 memorial ceremony every year, and I definitely think like even though I kind of know I'm going to be asked every year, it's still like an honor to be asked to do it, and it just like makes me happy to do that. And when I sing it for like around the town and everything. Also, when I like another fond moment is when I write a new song, and my family is like, "Oh, play me your new song," and like everyone gathers around the piano or like around me to listen to it. and then they like tell me if they like it or if they don't, or like what they want me to change. And I just think that's like it's nice to have like people support me and listen to my music.
Have you been in any competitions?
Yes. I've been competing since I was like I guess 11 with singing competitions.
Like, what kind of competitions? Just school competition, like.
Yeah, I mean, my first competition was called Burner Idol, and they came to my school, and everyone competed in it, and it was kind of like what they have here. It was the same thing. It was kind of like a showcase, and then they pick a winner after two shows, and then I did some out of school competitions, just like your regular singing competitions around Long Island, and then I did stage here, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Let's talk about stage.
Okay.
So you won 2017 stage.
Yes. I'm still shocked, to be honest.
I'm glad that I really wanted Dino to win, but I'm glad if someone else had to win, it was you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Not to be like everyone else was good, but like not to say anything since Dino's in the room, but
Oh, yeah.
I didn't tell Thomas to say that, just for the record. Yeah, let's get back to the interview.
what round were you in? The third?
I was in the second round.
The second round?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Resounding was supposed to play, but they didn't.
Yeah, and they didn't.
I remember that. So how was that day? Were you like, what song did you play actually that day?
So that day I did Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood.
Okay.
And then the second song I did was my song called Girls Like You.
Okay. And I don't know if you want to elaborate on what that song was about or.
Girls Like You. Girls Like You is about a girl who isn't that humble at all. She thinks that she's the best singer in the world, the best person in the world, and I think, she's been rude to me on many occasions, so I sat down. After one day, she was just like, I was just so mad that I just sat down and I wrote that song. And yeah, it's about a girl who is not humble at all.
Nice. Since I know who you're talking about, I like that.
You know what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah?
So then you won.
Yeah.
So then came main stage.
Yep.
And so you perform like by yourself most likely, or
Yeah.
a lot. You don't really get to play with.
Yeah, I
You
don't,
don't really have,
usually
like, a band or-
right. But I loved having a band. I feel like if I'm just with my guitar and it's just me, it's like hard to perform as well as like if you just had a microphone and there's people playing behind you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it like really let me like let loose and perform more than usual.
So how was it getting people like to get 'cause who did you have play for you?
I had Sam Ramirez on the drum, and then I had Brian Dumont. He left the school. I don't know. I think he transferred, but he played electric guitar, and then I had Brandon Nickel on another electric guitar.
Okay.
So, yeah, so that's
So
who played for me.
how was it to get them? Was it like easy? Were they?
They were
did you-
really easy. They learned everything really quickly, and they were
Practices
great
went
musicians.
well?
Yeah, we had like one rehearsal the day before, and then we had a little bit of rehearsal before stage. So I was like a little bit nervous, but they learned it perfectly, and they did a really nice job. So, especially because it's country and not a lot of people play that.
Yeah.
And like Brandon Nickel had like all like the guitar, the guitar licks for country, and I was like, how do you even know that? Like, how did you do that?
So what songs did you play for stage? For the main stage?
I did My Church by Mara Morris, and then I did.
Is that the Hallelujah one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. I never knew what the name of that song was.
Oh, you didn't know the name?
I always heard that song, just didn't know what the name.
Well, everybody doesn't know her until like now. Everybody knows her because she just did that song with Zed. I don't know if you know the song "The Middle."
Probably not.
Yeah. Well, it's
Maybe if I heard
really
it,
new.
I don't know.
If you heard it, you probably know. But yeah. So I did My Church by Mara Morris, and then I did 3 original songs. Did I do 4 original songs? I don't remember. No, I did 3. I did Again, and then I did You Must Have Been, and another song called Good at Goodbyes on the piano. And then, so for the piano song, the band left the stage, but then they came back on for the last one. I did Rich by Mara Morris also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, you performed in public.
Yeah.
Obviously. So you did mostly concerts. Have you ever performed on a radio show or like some like TV or film?
I did a radio show before coming here. It was iRadio USA, And then, so I performed on that show, and then they interviewed me a little bit. I did that show twice. And then I did one here, and then I'm doing this one now. And that's pretty much it for the radio shows.
So how was that the one that was before you came here? What was that
Yeah,
called?
I did Manic Monday.
No, the one
that one?
before coming.
Oh, iRadio USA.
How was that like?
I like that. It was good. I was younger, so it was like I was a little bit nervous because it was my first, interview on the radio and stuff like that. So I was definitely nervous, but it ended up working out, and it was fun.
Was it a good experience?
Yeah, it was a good experience. I think to have radio experience is good, especially when you go into this industry.
That's good. That's good. Do you get nervous when you perform?
Yeah.
Or perform before? You do?
I do. It depends on what it is. Like even if sometimes if I'm playing a song that I haven't played for anyone yet, then I'll get really nervous because I'm like, I hope people like the song, I hope people get the story, or I hope I don't mess up my own words, even though I'd be the only one that knows. But yeah, I do get nervous still.
Any, strategies of how to keep yourself calm, or, you know what I mean? Like, do you do anything when you get nervous? Do you do anything to calm yourself? Like, for example, my first radio show with Dino, I was stupidly nervous for it, but I have this thing when I'm nervous. I just I don't know, no one's gonna be able to see this, but I learned from karate, you breathe in through your nose and then out through your mouth while moving your hands up and down that. Do you anything like that, or
I guess if I'm nervous, I'll the reason is because I'm nervous I'm gonna forget the words or something like that. So I'll just tell myself you practice, you know the words, it's gonna be fine. And if it's not,
you calm yourself
there's nothing
down.
you could do. Yeah, I always wear this necklace that I have on now. I always wear that when I perform. So if I don't have that, then I definitely get nervous. But my grandma gave this to me, and I for some reason every time when I perform with it, it's good. And then I've noticed every time I don't have it on, I realize after, if it didn't go well, I'm oh, I didn't have it on. So I don't know if it's really because of the necklace or just because it's in
Just
my
a
head,
mindset thing.
Yeah.
Have you made mistakes on stage, or?
Yeah. When I was younger, when I was in that competition, Burner Idol, that was one of the first competitions I did. And I remember it wasn't during the show, but it was during rehearsals. And I know my voice just wasn't feeling it that day, and I cracked. And now I'm terrified of cracking in front of people because it's so nerve wracking. And then I've forgotten the words a few times, even to my own songs, just because I get nervous. And if I'm playing a lot, I just did the show the other day, and I did 11 original songs. And then one song, it was the last song, I forgot a line of it, and I was oh, of course, the last song. And I was I made a joke about it. I was how do you forget the words your own song? But yeah, so I've made mistakes like that.
And what do you do when you make mistakes? Do you just keep going like nothing ever happened, or do you?
Yeah, if I say the sentence I just said before by accident, or if I mess up the words, I'll kind of hum it, and I'll kind of laugh it off, and then finish the song and then make a joke about it, or something like that. Just try to cover it up, I guess.
Yeah, I've never heard of a musician be made a mistake and stop the song.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Sometimes I'll drop my pick out of my hand when I'm playing guitar. Sometimes I don't know how that happens, but
just knocks out of your hand.
Yeah, I just drop it, and then I have to just make a pick from my two fingers, and then just use that.
Just strum with your fingers. Then.
Yeah, and then I pick it up after, and I'm oh, I forgot my pick.
So you said you have an album coming out.
Yeah.
In May, you said.
Yeah, in May I'm recording it in Boston, and then I'm gonna release it a few weeks later, whenever they edit it and put it together and stuff.
So you have songs recorded already?
Yeah, I have songs recorded already, and I have the one EDM song on YouTube.
So what was that session like? The recording session. Did you do your vocals first? Did you do the instruments, or had someone else come and do instruments, or? So
usually I go to the Loft Sound Studio, and I like the way they record. They do a nice job. And I'm close with the people there. So I go in the studio at first, and I play my guitar, or if I did the piano, either one, I'll do the instrument first, and then I'll sing over that, and then we'll take it and we'll add more instruments, whatever we think sounds good. I know in Again, I was oh, I really want the violin to go da, 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 and then he added that. So I think it's cool. It's really hands-on. So we add instruments after.
Okay. So for you, what makes a good session?
I guess it's if because I've only been playing guitar for a short amount of time. So if I like really get it to the metronome and I'm not messing up, then that's a good start. And then if my voice is like having a good day, and then it's just like, I know it's like a good session and like a good song if like I put it on in the car and then like I want to hear it again, like I want to keep listening to it, then I'm like, okay, like I think I like this. So that's a good session to me.
So going back to releasing music in May, I wasn't here, so I don't know if this was discussed already, but do you have like an album name cut out already? Do you have an idea of what you're gonna call it? Is like an idea of the overall theme of the album, if there is one? Like,
so I wanted to call it Again, but the thing is, so the producer that wants to record my music, he's like down in Nashville. I made a connection with him, and he was talking about how like I should hold Again back and then like record the other songs and then like show people in Nashville, and if they say like, do you have another song, then I would play Again. So originally I wanted to name my album Again because that's like my most personal song. So now I'm like thinking about what I wanted to name it, like, you know, and I know a lot of people lately have been doing like a self-titled album, so like maybe do that or something. But I'll just have like a few songs, like 8 songs on there, so it's not really like, I guess it's like, how much is an album? Like, I guess it's
I
like
would say
10?
maybe 7 or more.
Oh, okay, so yeah, it's like 8 or 9. So I'm not sure what I want to call it yet, though.
All right.
Yeah, but I'm excited for it.
Do you have any idea of the songs that you're gonna record, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the songs "Girls Like You," a song called "All Over You," "Good at Goodbyes," "Pity Party," "Boy to Borrow," and then I just wrote 2 new ones that I wanted to replace other ones that I had.
Okay.
So those will be called "Rest of Your Life" and "You Don't Love Me Anymore," which is such a sad title, but that's the same name.
No, I just thought it'd be funny if you named it "Girls Like You."
I know, right? That would
'Cause-
be funny.
'Cause I don't. None of the other songs are there. Any of the songs kind of like that, or just like?
What, like a title name, you mean?
No,
Or-
like those songs that you just mentioned. Are they about love? What are they like about?
Yeah, I guess they're like heartbreak, and they're all kind of like in the same, you know, realm. Like they're kind of about like love, like, or heartbreak, or, you know, the Girls Like You one kind of stands out on its own because it's just about one person. And
Yeah, you threw me off.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was gonna ask you if you were gonna stay or.
Well, I just figured I'd ask one question.
Okay.
I was curious.
So, how often and for how long do you practice?
I feel like if I'm in the basement and I'm writing a song, I will. Let's see. I guess like I usually perform like, you know, for myself, like practice in my basement. I have like a wireless mic and like a setup down there. So I guess in total I try to like run through sets. So I go through like my originals first. So that's probably like 45 minutes. And then like right after that I do covers, and that's probably like an hour. So I guess like an hour and 45 minutes.
And you do this like once a day or
I
twice
do
a week,
this-
3 times a week, or once
Yeah,
a week?
I guess like 4 to 5 times a week, which is probably a lot for my voice, which is bad. But like, but other times I just kind of like practice what I need to for school, or like sometimes I'm watching, like if I watch like a YouTube video of someone singing, then I kind of like get in the mood to sing, and I'll just pick up my guitar and do some things for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Depends on the day.
So when you practice, you just go over your songs. Mm-hmm. Do you do any like voice exercise or scale exercise or?
Yeah, I do some warm-ups. They're kind of funny. People like laugh at them when I do them in the car. I usually only do them if I have a performance, which I know you're supposed to warm up every time you sing, but I do with my voice teacher. But when I'm practicing in my basement, I don't usually do it before. I kind of warm up using like songs that don't use as much of my voice.
Okay. So, when you practice, you use new tunes, hard tunes, like when you practice, or do you practice with songs that you already know, or?
I guess a little bit of both. Like sometimes I'll like pull up like Sing to Piano and try to learn like a newer song that's like on the radio instead of like, so I'm not always singing country and like only doing that. Because I have like 3-hour gigs that I do in like different places. So when I don't want to keep singing country the whole time because I know not everyone likes that. But if I was in Nashville, like maybe that would like fly, but not over here. So I try to learn new songs, and I also practice the old ones.
Go to New Jersey, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you think people like country there?
Because I'm from Jersey.
Oh, really?
So yeah, there's been a lot of country. There's literally I forgot what the place is called. I'll probably think of it after,
I know that always happens.
but they do play. They have a lot of like country bands. 'Cause,
Really?
like my mom and dad go to see country bands a lot, so
Maybe I should check that out. Thank you.
yeah.
I will.
I'll text them to see what places there are, and
Yeah, definitely.
to help you
Thank
get
you.
out there because you're
I
good.
appreciate that.
You're
Oh,
really
thank you
good.
so
It's not
much.
like you shouldn't be like I won't say hidden, but like you should get out there.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. So how do you balance your music with other obligations like your partner? I don't think you have children.
No.
Job, school, friends, like
Well, most of my jobs are like with singing, like gigs and stuff, so that's good. Thank God. But sometimes I feel like it's hard when most of them, I feel like it's just my luck that everything that I get booked, like gigs, they're like, oh, can you come this day? And then like another person would be like, having a competition, you want to come? I'm like, sure. They're like, it's the same day. So I guess, and we have pretty long days here at school, actually. So it's kind of difficult sometimes. Like if I had to practice for those 3-hour gigs, I don't really have a lot of time to practice a full 3 hours. So, but it's pretty, I guess I don't have like that many things going on right now because I'm not like a famous singer or anything. So
Yeah.
I guess it's pretty easy right now, but I really hope to like worry about that one day. Like if I'm like famous and people are like, oh, you need to come here and I need to balance things, I hope to worry about it.
how long are your school days?
So one day I have like 9:30 and I end, if I have like voice lessons, I end up ending at like 6:30 at night. And then like tomorrow I start at 11, so that's good. But then I have classes until like 7:15 at night. So
Wow.
it's pretty long.
Wow, I'm so glad I'm business audio.
Oh my God. You should like count your blessings.
I mean, well,
That's a lot too still though, I feel
I
like.
mean, it's not like we don't
It's not
have
like easy.
we don't have late classes, but we do
Yeah.
have.
Long classes, right?
No, just
Oh, no?
we just get a lot of homework. We get a lot of
Oh,
essays to write
Yeah.
and projects
We don't get
to
that
do.
many. We get like projects, but we don't get like essays and stuff.
Yeah, I can see why like how it balances out that way.
Yeah.
Cause I figured if we didn't get those assignments, we would be in class longer.
Yeah, probably.
So you say it's pretty easy, just the balance.
Yeah.
You're
Usually,
not
like the gigs are on the weekend, and I don't have school on those days, and then like those are the jobs that I have. So, other than babysitting, but
not like drop dead busy or something.
yeah, no, nothing crazy. Unless it's like a crazy. I've had a pretty crazy 2 weeks though. I've had a lot of stuff doing with singing, but I'm like happy about it. It's like something
That's
I enjoy.
good. That's good when you're busy, but it's good busy, not
Yeah, exactly.
bad busy.
Right.
So where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years? Like,
I really hope to be on a headlining tour, or even just opening up for like someone big in country or anything like that. I just always like, not even just to be like famous or to have money or anything like that. I just love performing, so I feel like I just think it would be so cool to have like my name like in lights at a concert that like so many people like pay to go to, like they want to see you that badly, and I want
they're
to be
online
like,
just going crazy.
yeah, like people like sell out Taylor Swift tickets in a minute. Like I would feel so glad, like knowing that people wanted to go so bad that it sold out in a minute. Singing on like the Grand Ole Opry stage in Tennessee, that's like a big dream of mine. So I really hope to be there in 10 years, or a member of it.
If you could go on tour with any band or musician, who would it be?
Right now, either Maren Morris or Kelsey Ballerini.
One band open, say like a band called I Prevail
Okay.
would open. Then be my band, The Wounded Ones, which we don't exist yet, but that's the title.
Oh, cool.
But that's the name that I want. But and then after that, we Black Veil Brides, which is my favorite, most inspirational idols.
Yeah.
You have any like, you know what I mean? Like, you have an example of that,
Like an inspirational idol that I'd want to...
like a set list. If you were going to be part of a set with different bands.
Okay, so like if I wanted to sing their songs with them and stuff like that.
Yeah, like say like it would be you would open for Taylor Swift and then Carrie Underwood would come on like that. You know what I mean? Like an order.
Oh, so like that kind of order. Okay.
Yeah, that kind of set. Yeah.
So I guess my order would be like opening for Taylor Swift, and then Carrie Underwood comes on, and then Maren Morris, and then singing together with Kelsey Ballerini. That would be like a cool thing.
Nice. If you could have dinner with any musician, dead or alive, who would it be?
Elvis Presley.
Okay. Any reason why, or?
I just love his music, and I feel like he's just like such an inspiration in the music world. And I just think he's a really cool guy to probably hang out with, I'm sure. So I think it would be cool to go to dinner with
Get a
him.
nice peanut butter and banana sandwich.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I wonder how that would taste.
I don't know. Probably. Well, I've had that before actually. Peanut butter and banana. It was like if you go to Tropical Smoothie, they make that on like a pita bread.
I've never
It's
heard of
pretty
that
good.
place.
You should try it.
I don't know. I've
It's
tried.
near here.
Okay, I've tried peanut butter with banana. Didn't like that.
You didn't like it?
No.
Then you might not like this.
Yeah. So, what advice would you give to beginners who are nervous about either writing music, performing, or just getting out there?
I definitely think the one thing that I've learned, especially with writing music, is that you can't be afraid of like the things you want to say. Like some people, they want to hold back, and I always like that. Like I was like, oh, I can't say that, or like that's too personal. But like I feel like you really need to. I mean, I don't know how it works with other music, but I know like I've learned country music, and it's just all about stories. And I mean, most music is just about telling stories. And I think the only reason, like the only way you're gonna connect with people in the audience or like people listening to your music is if you tell like the real true story. Like you never know, people can relate to it. So
Yeah.
like sometimes I'll tell stories about breakup and stuff. And when I was younger writing songs, I was like, well, I don't want to let people hear that. But like I don't want to be vulnerable, but I feel like the best advice I can give someone is to really like open up and be themselves. And if they're like nervous to go on stage, I just think that they should just, go out there not to like, they think people are going to judge them or anything like that. I just go out there to have fun. And even if it's a competition, don't worry about winning. Like I always just worry about like having fun. It's another performance opportunity. It's experience. And
Just
I think,
do it. Just have fun.
Just do it.
How about for the people who have? I had this conversation with Dino. Advice for people who think their music sucks. Like any advice about that? Like
I think everyone's their own worst critic. Like I'm
I agree.
definitely a victim of that. I think that like when I play a new song for people, I'm like, this might suck. I don't like it. I don't like this part. And then they're like, that was my favorite part. Like, and you get so surprised that like people actually liked it.
I mean, I don't even do that with music.
You just do that with
Just
everything.
just shoot my. I am my worst enemy. So.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, I critique myself in like all ways. So I feel like if they just, if they don't think negatively and they show someone, they might be surprised at what they say. They might be like, wow, I love that song. Like, it's awesome. And then they'll be really happy that they showed someone.
Yeah, because like I have a song that it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
I've written this, what's this, like 8 years ago, I think now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, back in like 6th grade.
Yeah.
I wrote this song. It's so corny and it's so cheesy.
You were in like 6th grade, so like,
Yeah.
you can't even, yeah.
But like a lot of people that I've shown now like it, which is
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
which is really weird. I'm like, how do you like this?
I know.
Like, I can't stand to just like read it. It's like I don't know why I still have it. I just have it because it's just an old song.
Yeah, just
that
because.
it's
Yeah, I
nice
still
and
play
short.
some old
Yeah.
songs and stuff.
You have any songs like that are?
Yeah, I have like a song that's like really cheesy and corny, and like I wrote it like the same thing. I wrote it when I was like in 6th grade, 7th grade, and I sang it for like, and my best friends till this day. She's like, she starts singing it when we're out places, and I'm like, I don't even remember the words. Like, how do you remember the words? She's like, I love that song.
That's really cool.
I was like, what? Why? It was like a cappella, it wasn't to any instrument, and I'm like, why do you know that song?
Well, let's go back to the songwriting.
Oh yeah.
Would you say your songwriting has gotten better over the years?
Yeah, I definitely
Since you
think so.
started?
I think like over the years, I like opened up more and like I tell more personal stories, and I think it's so much easier that way. I also just think like, I guess as I matured, like my songs have been more mature. Like they're not like I guess they got better than like what they were. I still like won't write a song and be like, oh, I love that. Like until someone's like, oh my god, like that's really good. Then I'll be like, oh, is it? So I guess I have to work on that.
You ever come up with an idea in your head and start writing to it, and just you read it over like every day, just loving it? It's not even like
Oh, when it's not a finished song?
when it's not even finished or put to get like it's just all in your head. And you
Yeah,
just
I
love
had
it.
a song recently like that. I was in a guitar shop, and I was like looking at a Taylor guitar, and like how they let you play it, they take it off the wall. So he was like, oh, when did you start playing guitar? I was like, oh, I think I was like 16, and I wrote a line. And then I wrote like the middle. So I knew how like I wanted it to go, but I couldn't fit the stuff in between, like all the pieces. So I went home and I kept singing it in my head like on the way home, and then like tried to write it just because I did like it. So that was like my recent song, The Rest of Your Life, it's called. Actually a happy song.
Oh, and a happy song.
Yeah, it's a happy song.
I couldn't even tell you a happy song I have.
I know, right? I think that's my only one. Again is kind of uplifting. So
Yeah, I like
that's
it. I like Again.
Thank you.
Like I said, I told you this before. I heard of you played at stage.
Yeah.
I was listening to him like, this sounds familiar. This is really good. It was really good. Like I knew this was from something.
Oh, Again?
Yeah, like yeah.
From
I was
Stage,
like,
yeah.
I was like, it was from something. I've had to hear this before, because it was like, you know what I mean, when you hear a really good song.
Oh, thank
just
you.
don't hear it again. But then when you hear it again, it's like, I remember this.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So I'm glad that you liked it though.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you're really good. I like
Oh,
like
thank
when
you.
you performed today at
The songbook?
Yeah, the songs.
Yeah.
Just I knew I heard you go up, and maybe I just didn't. Maybe I wasn't looking up at stage.
Oh,
but, like,
yeah.
I was listening. Like I was looking at my phone and listening, like if it was my own headphones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's something I get nervous for. Like, I feel like singing my own songs and stuff like that doesn't, like, I'm not as nervous to do that as I am to do things that are, like, out of my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think, like, for that kind of show, that's, like, a jazzy kind of thing, and it's from a class, and that definitely makes me more nervous than just doing, like, you know, my original song.
See, for me, I think I would be more nervous about an original song.
Really?
Because people never heard it before.
That's what makes me nervous. Yeah, if
That
people
they're-
never heard it before.
If they're gonna like it or not.
That's how I feel, yeah. And people are like, you still get nervous? Like, you've been performing so long. And I'm like, yeah, but, like, I don't just get up there. I'm like, all right, I'm going to rock it. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think I'll ever be like that.
Oh yeah.
I'll always get nervous.
Little story. My first song that I did completely was in high school, called "Those Days Will Come Back," and we performed it at my spring concert.
Okay.
I didn't perform, like I played the cajon. You know the cajon, like you sit on it. It's like a box.
Oh, yeah.
For percussion.
Right.
I played that while two friends of mine, one was playing guitar and both of them were singing.
Oh, wow, cool.
But before we went on, standing outside the door, my heart was just thumping. I feel like I was
Really?
gonna like throw up or something.
Oh, my gosh.
And the whole time, and I'm pretty sure you've had this where you're playing.
Yeah.
And for me, when I ever played drums, I don't look at the crowd. I can't look at the crowd. I'll look at the set or
Oh, you'll
whatever
look at
I'm
the
playing.
set?
Can't really look at the crowd because then I'll get nervous and
Yeah.
mess up or whatever. And but when we were done, and everyone started cheering and clapping, I was standing up and I was just like, what? They liked it, like.
Yeah, it's
You
like
had that-
surprising. It's a nice feeling, though.
Yeah, like, have you ever just, like, thought you were in a dream? Like, when that happened to me,
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
it was a dream.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone cheering. Apparently, my two friends were screaming, like, that they loved me or whatever.
Oh, really?
I didn't even hear them because I was so just, like, overblown about the clapping. Like,
That's what got me into singing, too, is, like, well, performing, I guess, like, on stage. Like, you get so nervous, but then you get up there and you start, like, you know, you're getting, like, especially when you have, like, a little bit of a long set. I'm always, like, nervous through, like, the first song. And then I kind of, like, get used to it. And, you know, like, people clapping was always what got me into, like, performing. Because I was like, I love that feeling. Like, people just, like, applauding you or telling you, like, oh, I loved this. So I definitely agree with you. Like, how you feel like you're in a dream. Like, I love applause and everything. It gives me chills, applause. I don't know why. Even if it's not for me, if it's for anyone. Like, I just love applause.
so you said you performed outside of school, right?
Yeah.
Anywhere nearby? Or
I do a gig every month on the 5th for Moe's, and it's like Cinco de Moe's. So that's my 3-hour gig. And then I do some gigs like in local restaurants by me in Massapequa.
don't know where that is, but okay.
Oh, you don't know where that is? It's pretty close to here.
Okay.
And then I do some, you know, like competitions, showcases. I was at 89 North in Patchogue this past Saturday.
Okay.
Do you ever heard of that?
I know Patchogue. I just.
Oh, you just don't know that place?
Wait,
Yeah.
what place?
89 North.
Probably.
It's kind of like Revolution. It's like in that same.
Oh, I've been
type
there.
of thing.
I've been there. I saw someone there. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
You're
I
talking
do
about.
Revolution also. So like, I think those shows are fun.
Yeah, you gotta let me know when you do Revolution, cause I
Yeah,
know that-
definitely.
or when you do anything around here, cause I like hearing your voice.
Oh, thank
You're a
you.
really good voice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I love when people tell me that.
You have a really good voice. Sorry.
Thank you.
Can't speak.
Because I feel like when I critique myself so much, so when people are like, "Oh my God, you sounded so good on this," I'm like, "Really?" And like I like hearing that. It's like good to know.
You have any upcoming shows you want to tell everyone about, or?
So on the 5th, I do have Moe's. That's in Massapequa Park at the Moe's location. And I have 89 North just passed this past Saturday. I'm trying to think. There's something at school. It's on March 2nd, I believe, and it's like a film. It's like a film event, and they asked me to sing a few songs at it. So I'm excited for that.
I'll have to look out for that. I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah,
but sure.
definitely. Yeah, it's one of these flyers. I just don't know what it's. I was just told in the hallway.
Oh, okay.
I was asked to sing in it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, of course." And yeah, I'll definitely have to check the flyers for the name. So sorry about that, but I'm trying to do more shows. Like I had a couple shows pass already, so I wish that I had more coming up to talk about. I'm trying to be back at 89 North because I actually really liked that place. It was a really nice venue. So
It's a nice small but like big as well.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It was cool. I liked it.
And you said
I'll definitely let you know though if like more shows come up that I know about.
all right. And you said your album you want your album to come out in
In May.
in May?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And I'm like writing a new EDM song with that same guy because he reached out to me to do another song. So that'll be out soon. So I'm excited about that.
Okay. And before we go, here is again by Taylor Hogan, an Industries Insight exclusive for you guys. So before we hear it, why don't you tell us what it's about?
Okay. Well, Again is definitely like my most personal song. My sister had kind of a rough year, so she was in the hospital and everything, and I was writing a song, and it was like so sad, and I was like, this is like really sad, like especially for me. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I want to write an uplifting song. So I got an idea for Again. So Again is about growing up and how you can do something for the first time, but you'll never do it for the first time again. And like you're growing older, and like there's things you'll never do again, like learning how to drive a car, or like I talk about learning how to ride a bike. And I say, I want to teach my sister and my brother all the things in my life that like I've learned. So it's about growing up and teaching people that are younger than you all the things you've learned in life. And hopefully they'll tell other people like, what you told them and learn from it.
Okay, so this song has not been released, and you're hearing it here, only on an Industries Insight.
All the senior boys are so cool. Again, never turn double digits. Call all the mean girls bitches in the bathroom with your best friends. And oh, how I wish I could do it again, but I can't. But I can. Tell my sister all the things that I've learned. Tell my brother I've been burned by the coldest of people. I hope they don't meet, and I hope that they see all the mistakes I've made, and they don't make the same ones too. And I hope they come out someone like me, 'cause I'd like to say myself I turned out pretty well. And I'm sure I'll have to tell them all of this again. I'll never tell my first love that I love him for the first time again, but thank God I'm still saying it every day. And oh, how I love the way his green eyes light up when I do. And I'll never pick up my first Taylor guitar and write my first song about the boy who broke my heart in two again and again. But I can tell my sister all the things that I've learned. Tell my brother we'll all be singing along. And I'm sure I wish I could do it again, but I can't. But I still can. Tell my sister all the things that I've learned. Tell my brother I've been burned by the cruelest of people I know that they'll meet. And I hope that they see all the mistakes they make. They don't make the same ones twice. And I hope they come out someone like me. But as far as I can see, they turned out pretty well. And I know that they'll tell someone all of this again, over and over and over and over again. Please say these words when I can't again.
That's all the time we got, listeners. So I thank again Taylor Hogan for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And one more time, what are the platforms people could find you at?
So you can find me on Instagram at Taylor Hogan 19 is my personal page. My music page is Taylor Hogan Music. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram at Taylor Hogan, and on iTunes for that EDM song. If you just search Break My Heart, Taylor Hogan, you'll find it.
All right, so thank you again for being here.
Thank you for having me again.
No problem. So that's the end of the third episode of an Industries Insight podcast. Make sure to go follow us on Facebook, Instagram, SoundCloud, and YouTube to get the updates and listen to the podcast if you missed it. So until next time, I'm your host, Thomas Grabuznik, and I'll talk to you guys later. Signing off.